Hello YouTube, what is happening? It is another Thursday night, which means only one thing. It's another Killer Comic Show. We are on episode 16 already. Can't believe it. It's been actually pretty decent. We've been going for 16 weeks now, which is pretty incredible. This week, I'm joined with a fellow UK YouTuber, Instagrammer, the one, the only, GP Venom. How are you doing, sir?
I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for having me on the show.
Mate, thank you for taking the time to... Mate, I've been hyping it up all week, so you can't let me down. Been dropping like the GIFs and the videos and stuff like that. So, but it's great to have you on, mate. So, yeah, I mean, what have you been up to during this fucked up world that we're living in at the moment?
Just trying to survive like everybody else. Rationing toilet paper.
And pasta. My wife's holding pasta.
Pasta. Well, what?
Everyone's
make your own.
Mate, I know. It's absolutely mental. With the 3 kids I've got, they get through pasta like we're Italians. Yeah. Honestly, we're eating so much pasta, so much food. We're in lockdown. But the thing that's still keeping us sane, I think, between me and you, it has to be comics.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
There's some fantastic. I mean, week 46, there were some fantastic comics. We're going to touch on, I think, about 3 or 4 of them. But it was a pretty decent week. I think there was like the first issues out. There was obviously Punchline 1, which we'll touch on. Power Rangers #1, Detective Comics 1030, and then obviously we had Amazing Spider-Man 52. But it was a pretty decent week. I enjoyed it. But the only thing people are finding is that their local comic book shops aren't able to deliver.
That's right. Yeah, it happens.
And it does happen. But I mean, we've got a way around it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
We have.
But I think without further ado, we might as well just jump straight into it. And
definitely, yeah.
Let's find it. Here we go. So first of all, it was Punchline #1. Now for me, I was well excited about this. I think leading up from the Joker War, it was wicked.
Yeah. See, the thing is with some comic books, you have these big arcing events, and then not much comes after. Everything goes back to the norm.
Yeah. See, I mentioned
it's good to see the repercussions of what people do and how it's dealt with after these events. So yeah
definitely. Because I mentioned to Tom Malin from Not Quite Min last week that for me the lead up to the Joker War was better than the actual event.
Yeah.
I think leading up to what the Joker's planning, who he's got on his side, like the cameo appearance of Punchline when we're first introduced to him and stuff like that, the whole lead up to that was much better than the actual event of the Joker. I think it kind of fell flat. I think like I'm a big fan of like Tinian, like the way that he's taking Batman on and stuff like that. But for me, them 5 issues kind of fell flat.
I enjoyed the Joker War. I've got to admit, I did enjoy it.
See, I did enjoy it, but the thing is, for me, it would have been a bigger and more impactful ending if we knew the Joker weren't going to die. We knew we weren't going to let Harley Quinn die. But if one of the family was in there and that blew up, one of the Bat family that died, that opens up a whole nother arc.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we're on 103 comes out next week, so we're kind of moving on swiftly. We've now got a new villain called like the Ghost Maker. So he's kind of coming up.
And then in Detective Comics, you got the Mirror as well.
And then you got the Mirror. But the person who we're talking about now is Punchline. Now, for me, I'm a massive Harley Quinn fan. So
me too. Yeah.
The battle between Punchline and Harley Quinn, it was always going to go one way for me. So when Harley Quinn got her throat slit, I was like, oh, shit. Shit's about to go down. But what I thought was really good was that they tied that into Harley Quinn 75, I think it was. So then when she gets thrown into the river, you kind of see what happened to Harley Quinn during that moment. But this was really interesting because in the Joker 80th anniversary, it kind of touched on the origins of Punchline. Now, what this has done again, it has literally started to do the same thing. So it's kind of, again, we get back and we go back to the origin of Punchline. And I mean, on this cover, it kind of just opens up to what it's about. We've got the people who want to see Punchline as she is, and then we've got the innocent teen who was manipulated by the Joker when she was growing up.
See, when I read it, I didn't see it as being innocent. She become a fanatic. She really did.
Yeah.
And I like this play on Punchline because it's the exact opposite of what the Joker did with Harley. See, he manipulated her and corrupted her, and that's how we got Harley. But on the other hand, Punchline, she just went out herself. She was looking for him, and she did become a fanatic.
Yeah, she kind of just sought out to be part of him, didn't she?
Yeah.
And there he is, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Oi, oi, you sexy feckers. Good, welcome, Tom. We are talking about Punchline. Now, me and Tom spoke about this earlier. I think it was either earlier today or yesterday, and he was getting around to reading this on his lunch. But it was, I know, there's a symbiote on my show. I know, I can't get rid of him, mate. Honestly, he's infecting, he's making the Wi-Fi work for a change, which is good. So I can't moan about that. But you ain't missed much, mate. We're literally just touching on the origins of Punchline, and obviously this is a one shot, and it's kind of detailing the punchline of where the Joker's new right hand, Princess of Crime, started. But you touched on a good thing there, Pete. You said that she kind of, obviously where Harley Quinn was manipulated, she kind of manipulated herself into filling that void for the Joker.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I mean, like this,
it's right through the story, and I say she makes it her own by the end. It's like, oh, how can you say it without doing any spoilers? Can we do spoilers?
Oh, yeah, we can do spoilers on the show. It's fine.
Oh, that's champion. So yeah, even when she's caught at the beginning, she gets Dr. Tompkins, and she's basically saying, she's saying she can stand trial, and then you find out there's like Joker's men, which goes back to the end of Joker War. They're still out there. They still work for the Joker, and straight away, anything you need, Miss Punchline, and stuff like that. And
howdy, Captain Comics. Thanks for checking in, mate.
Passes the phone, and then she gets back online and starts doing her thing. Yeah. So,
but do you know what I like in this page here? You see this part here.
Yeah.
She didn't half look like Harley Quinn, don't you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like the way that she's got her eyes, and obviously she ain't got like the different coloured hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for me, this was just, I wasn't really expecting this. Obviously, there's the dead bodies there and stuff, but when the Joker got hold of him and shot him straight away, I was like, right, we're setting up here. This is how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And then she kind of, I think this was her telling part here, where she was kind of like, right, because she plays on this saying that she was manipulated by him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that comes further along in the story when it goes back to the studio, and she keeps saying, "Oh, he wanted us to send his message out to the world," but obviously, it all gets stopped after this page.
I mean,
and she's wanting to send that message out, and I think that's when she starts trying to track them down, speak to people at Arkham, go on to Amusement Mile, stuff like that.
Well, that's it, because I think she really hates Batman, because obviously in Joker War, she's kind of like, she gets hold of him in Wayne's house, and she's taking like all her aggression out on him. And I think this ties back to this moment where she feels that he stopped her partnering with the Joker from this.
Obviously, in this comic, it says that, like she says, that was her moment. That was her connection,
and it was stolen from her.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is it, where like she's literally, so this picks up off straight from the end of Joker
War,
100, is it? Is it 100? I think it was Batman
100. Yeah. Batman 100.
And obviously she's in prison. She's like testifying, saying that she's willing to stand trial. And then Lee Tompkins, who in Gotham is married to Jim Gordon in the TV series.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She touches on it, and then so what I was trying to work out is, so this girl here with the purple hair.
Yeah.
Who is she?
Is it Bluebird?
This is Blue. Is it Bluebird? It is Bluebird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so obviously she's like kind of wanting things to go, and then this is where it picks up from. This is directly where it picks up from the Joker War, because this is the scene that the comic ends in. Yeah. I thought this crossover was wicked, like the way that we get to tie back, because I think Gillian March did a cover of, I got it from Sad Lemon Comics, did the cover, of her first cameo appearance where she's on the phone.
Right.
The cover of that comic shows what she was up to when she was making that call.
Right.
And it's literally, she's got a dartboard with Harley Quinn's face on. She's on the phone and she's throwing darts at it, which I thought was pretty decent, because me as a reader was like, what was she actually doing? Where was she when she made that call to the Joker and stuff? So it's really good that they brought that out.
Yeah. I say even in this comic, when she becomes Punchline in the first meeting as Punchline, when she meets the Joker, and there was like that instant connection between them. I thought that was really well written, well done.
Yeah, I mean, because Tom said the story was so interesting. Is Bluebird a new character? So she's not a new. She's kind of one of the younger Bat family members, isn't she?
Yeah, she's been in a little while. I can't remember what issue it was she first come in, so I've got the worst memory ever. But yeah, she's been in a little while.
Yeah, she's kind of like not. She's kind of a cross between Batman and Robin, isn't she? Like the way that she's not part of the Teen Titans, is she?
I don't read Teen Titans. Titans.
So to answer your question, Tom, she's not a new character. She's been in the Bat family for a while, but she seems to be coming to the forefront now, obviously in this, and then making her appearance in Detective Comics and stuff like that. But what I found interesting, again, this touched on subjects like social media and stuff like that, because that's obviously how she started to become Punchline. Because she was like doing a podcast and stuff, and she was like reaching out to the younger generation and just sitting there on Instagram or whatever social platform they use in the comic book world. And it's pretty cool because the relationship between these two here,
that's a brother,
starts to become strained because he's fed up of just sitting in all the time, being a nobody, while his sister's out saving Gotham.
It also gives you that context. You see both sides of the coin. He thinks she's innocent, and she knows she isn't innocent. So it gives you that both sides of the coin effect there.
But what I liked about this is that you kind of, for me, obviously this is the origins of Punchline, so you get to know about Punchline, but these two here focus quite a lot in this comic. So it's kind of like the younger generation that no one really knows about in Gotham. It's kind of seeing Gotham from their perspective, how things went wrong during the Joker War, how Gotham's rebuilding and stuff. So I thought that was quite good.
Absolutely.
And one thing I really, really did like about this, like the artwork is done by Mirka Andolfo, who she wrote the Image Comics Mercy and like Unsacred and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, if you haven't ever touched on that, so Mercy is an outstanding comic. The artwork in it is fantastic. She wrote it and done the artwork on that. And I find her, like, she's amazing. Like, one of her biggest strengths is like her line work, her colours and stuff like that. So with the fact that when she partnered with, I think his name was Romulo Fajardo. So he done a Spider-Man. I think it was in Symbiote Spider-Man. I think it came out like last year or something like that. He worked with her on it, and as soon as I see them partnering on this, I was like, I've got to pick this up. It was wicked, and she's just awesome. Working obviously with James Tynion, who carried on from the Joker and he's come over to this. This comic had it all for me, to be fair. Like,
it was solid story, well written. The interior art's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, you can't fault it, really.
No, and I mean, Tom said, like, cool, I liked how Punchline is like a modern character using modern methods like social media to change people's perceptions. Mate, that's the world we live in. It's exactly the same as the world we're living in now. Like, it's like real life against Instagram life. So obviously, real life, people kind of see her as this like woman that was taken advantage of by the Joker, but then she's kind of living up. She's kind of pretending to be someone that she isn't, and then it kind of just pans out that she kind of really takes on this mantle of becoming this person.
That's right. Yeah.
And I mean, like, there's people here like they're slagging her off and stuff, and then there's this. See, I knew it was all going to go tits up for me as soon as he like opened that personal message, and it's like, don't worry about that. We can kind of, I'm with you on that. Let's meet up. I was like, it's getting a bit dodgy, isn't it? Because then it kind of leads him down a rabbit hole. He's like, if you haven't listened to a podcast already, listen to this, and then this was just wicked. This is what I really like. It's like the way it tied back and all the flashbacks and everything, like all the Easter eggs tying back to like the Joker's origin, all the things he's committed in Gotham, how he became the Joker. I mean, I thought this.
But the social media stuff that ties back with Punchline, how she become fanatical about the Joker, and then put it out on social media, and now people's coming fanatical about Punchline through social media.
And it's kind of like swings and roundabouts. She started off doing all this, and then by the time we get round to the end of the comic, it's come full circle, and people are promoting her. They're wearing the mask and stuff like that. But the way it just tied back, like she went through all of this, so she was kind of searching the Joker.
Yeah.
All the time that he was with Harley Quinn, all the time that he was locked up in Arkham, she was like there. Like all the time, and she's like this young teenage girl, and she's absolutely fanatical about him.
Yeah, she's trying to find newspaper clippings about him.
Everything.
Every bit of info she could.
And I thought this was kind of cool. Like she's literally just sitting there.
The laughing fish.
The Joker fish.
Yeah.
This is just. I just thought the way that they tied it all in and stuff, and look, like she's at the Joker's house. So, like here, she talks about like. They mentioned that the owner of this fun fair was killed. So obviously that ties back to a Killing Joke.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I loved how they tied that back to Killing Joke.
Like, because obviously that's one of the most iconic things in it, where the Joker goes to the rundown circus, and he's there. He's at the playhouse and stuff like that, and then it cuts, and it's that black and white scene where the owner's just sitting on the carousel. And he's just got his white face, and it's just a massive smile. Like the way that they tied that all back in a roundabout way was awesome. I just thought it was a sensational comic, and then obviously, like the entering of this, the rat running around, and this is where she starts to get psychotic. You can just see, and this also ties back to a Killing Joke of one of the pictures in one of the images in a Killing Joke is like the Joker's face like that.
Yeah.
And then, she also mentions here something about the police commissioner Gordon. So that is the stage that he performed on. Do you remember?
That's right. Yeah. But I think they also say that a lot of it was redacted in the police reports, like of what happened.
Because he got him to perform naked, didn't he, or just in his underpants?
Yeah. No, I think he was fully bollock naked. Like.
Oh, was he fully bollock naked?
Yeah.
Walks and all.
Walks and all, mate.
But I mean, I think you kind of see like the cracks appearing in Bluebird and her brother's relationship.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes on, and then.
Yeah, it really escalates from there.
And then obviously we find out that during the Joker War, their mum got killed. And then it just all goes tits up for me. I was like, right, yeah. Lee Tompkins on the phone. She wants Bluebird there. And then this is it. I was like, how many podcasts has this bird put out, man? Like, she's put out about... What is it? How many? 92 podcasts. I thought it would have been pretty cool.
More than a grey man.
Oh, it is more than a grey man, isn't it? There's no cat talking this though. I thought it would have been cool if it had finished on 100 from when she entered. You know what I mean? Her podcast finished on 100. Yeah. I don't think it did finish on 100, did it?
I don't think so, no. Because this is like the bit just before she makes Joker.
Yeah. But how cool would it be if you could actually listen to these podcasts? That'd be awesome.
Someone should do it as a podcast.
Someone should do it. But then this ties back to this is where her torment of carnage started, like dropping off letters. And I like the way that everything is signed with an O and an X, like a kiss and a.
Yeah. I noticed. I was like, what's that? And then
and so like little calling card in it, and then like people opening. And she's just like starting to infect with the Joker toxin. So she already kind of had this Joker toxin before she unleashed it on Gotham during the Joker War.
She come up with her own mix.
Yeah.
I think that's when she meets up with the Joker. You'll see in a minute. He says, "Oh, you haven't got it quite right," or something like in that effect.
I vote me. Yeah. Right, they're talking about the Harley thing. But yeah, this was wicked. So obviously she's walking around and no one knows who she is yet. Like no one has any idea of who she is. And like she's
randomly killing people.
She's just wreaking havoc, like dropping bombs on trains and stuff. Like killing this sad geezer here. He's only enjoying his like salmon fillet, and then all of a sudden, boom, dead. And then this here, where she's just literally I said start laughing. I mean, this is so like the Joker. This is so like the Joker. What something he would do.
Yeah, you can see that parallel, like where she goes proper psychotic there.
Yeah, here. There's just essence of the Joker here. And then this is obviously one of the most iconic pictures. I think I can't remember where it's from, but it's where the Joker's holding Harley Quinn.
Harley, yeah.
And they've also done a variant comic cover of this, of the Joker.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one. Yeah.
But this is interesting. Like, obviously, she's just like imagining it happening, and then just kind of loses her shit. I thought this was pretty cool. Like, she's going to cut his throat, like she did to Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And then here it is, Bluebird. See, she's very much dressed like Nightwing there, don't you think?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
She does look.
I didn't take much notice of that panel, and then I thought, no, that's not Nightwing.
I've only just noticed that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it all kind of ties out, and there's this random geezer who's been contacting her brother. But I mean, this is where it all starts. This is the iconic mask that all the clown hunters wear. Not the clown hunter. All the clowns for the Joker wore. And it all starts. And here it is. This is a pretty decent paragraph here, where where the blood. She's literally just going through everything that she's done, and then this here.
You go back one, Charlie.
Yeah.
So when you see the tattoos, that's all the Joker's men.
Yeah.
And on her say so, they're just going around randomly killing people now. So just to show that they're still out there, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, they would have. Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, exactly, because they were still out there doing the Joker's bidding, even though she's going to court. So she's like, I'm not fighting a lost cause. He is still out there. He's clearly not dead.
Yeah.
But it was this here, like free punchline. She's kind of served her purpose.
Yeah.
And as Tom just said, that panel that showed a throwback to Harley Joker was so good. Honestly, I've got to give like my hats off to like James Tynion and Mirko Andolpo for that, because one, it was well written, and two, the artwork did it so much justice. And one of the variant cover that comes out is an exact replica of the Joker and Harley Quinn, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But this here, like, obviously this is a one shot. I'm interested to see where it goes next year. But I can't see
it to be continued
in 2021.
I can see getting a series.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I mean, after what they've done, they've got to invest. It looks like they're investing so much time in this character, because I said to Tom last week, I said, the way that they keep flipping, like you had the underbroker who was in like 2 or 3 issues. You've got Clown Hunter. You had Mr. Freeze and his 2 sons. You got Punchline. You've now got the Ghostmaker. They seem to be investing in so much in Punchline.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy to see where it goes. Like, I think she's going to become another character that's just going to be insane. I mean, I think she's more sadistic than Harley Quinn.
I would say it's going back to Batman 100, right at the end, when the Joker reads in the newspaper. No, it was on the phone. He's watching do a thing on the phone. And even he said, I'm interested to see how this goes.
Yeah.
And he's off on his holidays.
I know. And do you know what? I think Harley Quinn's changed, obviously, because obviously at the end of Batman 100, Batman goes into the hospital and he's like, look, where are you going to go from here? And she's kind of just gone back to how she was, like no makeup, everything plain Jane. So it's interesting to see where she's going to go from there, because she's always been the kind of villain trying to do good but ends up doing evil. So that's going to be interesting.
I think she's more anti-hero now.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah. If you read the Harley Quinn series, she's definitely anti-hero now.
I love the way Amanda Connor, like, she's done such a good run with her. And it's kind of like they're 2 totally different things. In the DC, like in the Batman and Detective Comics and stuff like that, she seems to be more gritty and bitchy, whereas in the Amanda Connor, she's like the butt of all jokes and everything, with her walking around with Bruce and her hyenas.
Yeah.
But up next we've got, what did we say we had next? We said we had, it was Detective Comics, wasn't it? Let's do this.
That one,
sweet. So what did you think of this? I mean, for me, right, I like the way that he's kind of got the Bat family back together. I love that. Considering on the last issue, it was very much leading up to this point. Obviously, Batman and Robin have been fighting, and him and Damian ain't really getting on. But for me, this one was more of like a character building issue.
Yeah, well, it was, yeah. At the minute, Detective Comics is starting to go a bit flat for me. It was a good issue, don't get us wrong. The bit I like is with Damian. He runs off with his dad's old case book of unsolved crimes, and he's trying to do them.
Oh,
so that was a good
Tom hasn't read this one, so he's going to pop back. Yeah, mate, we'll be done in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Pop back. I bet you don't. But I mean, I've been enjoying it. Like I only started reading the Detective Comics, I think, from about 990. I flicked in and out of it and everything, but like leading up to the Batman 1000, I think like everyone kind of did the same thing. But this kind of picked up again. This is picking up from the aftermath of the Joker War. So obviously, it is, what's his name? Is it Nakano?
Yeah, he's the one running for mayor.
Yeah, it's the Detective Nakano. So he's obviously he's a former GCPD police officer. And him and his partner got caught up in the Joker War. His partner burnt to death, and he kind of just stood by and watched it happen. And then obviously there's this, and then this was quite freaky though, because obviously Batman's there, and I'm like, what's going on here? Is this actually what happened? And then you kind of just see like this is a freaky thing, like Batman bursting through flames. And then like looking for this, and then he just holds out his eye. Wow!
The imaging is really good. You cannot dispute that, like.
And it is.
I like this, but one is proper Spawn-esque.
It is very on that one, and it's kind of like it's drawn like an indie comic, don't you think? Like the way that. It's very dark, like the shadows and everything that's used. It's a very like drawn out indie comic, but I thought it was quite good. I mean, I haven't really been a fan of the Detective Comics. I think, I agree with you. It fell kind of flat. It weren't all that. I think they're all kind of trying to piece together now from the Joker War how it's all going to go. But for me, it did. I was interested when we kind of get to this and he's out looking over Gotham because obviously he's all about the anti-vigilantes. So he doesn't, anyone in a mask is doing wrong in his eyes, whether you're trying to save Gotham or you're inflicting pain on Gotham. He's kind of wants rid of all of it. So it's exciting to see where this is setting up because obviously Batman and Damian, they're at loggerheads. He's stolen his book of his dark book of
unsolved crimes, wasn't it?
It's Dark Book of Unsolved Crimes and stuff. But I mean, look at this artwork here. This is just
like I say, you can't dispute it's really well drawn.
It's very 1980s Batman, don't you think? Like the way that he's now wearing the old suit. He's kind of gone back to his old things because I know that the tech's back and working because Lucius is like taking over like Wayne Enterprises and stuff. But I like the old Batman. I like him in his just grey, black cowl and stuff. I think it's just wicked.
Keep it simple.
But the fact that like Robin's ripped off the R on his chest because he literally doesn't want anything to do with him now.
Because he's going through the dialogue of when Dick ripped the R off his chest and Damien just mirrored that. Yeah,
it's the same thing, isn't it? Like it's tied back saying the R was a burden, the R was an anchor, the R was what's holding him back. And Dick said that when he went over to Bloodhaven, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's like this, and he's like, "Oh my God, are we actually going to turn this page again? Are we doing the same thing?" I'm like reliving this chapter from history, because normally
maybe they're going to be done with Robins. You never know.
I know DC are killing off. I mean, I think Hawkman was the last issue.
Yeah, that was
this
last
week.
issue. Yeah.
There's another last issue coming up next week. But I mean, it's just literally, you never know. I mean, I know they're killing off Teen Titans, so it's just like kind of like now shifting over. That might be why.
I think it's Teen Titans next week, is it? Is that the last issue next week? Teen Titans.
I think that's probably why they're moving characters like Bluebird over into like the mainstream to build on the stories of that. Maybe they're taking some people from like the Teen Titans, like the best ones, and building stories on this and that. But who knows? But I mean, this was interesting because you're kind of looking at him getting beat up by Robin and he won't throw a punch.
No, he said he wouldn't throw a punch.
He said he'd rather he takes it out.
Kick his ass.
That's it. He was like, I'd rather him take it out on me instead of taking it out on someone else.
Yeah.
But this is exactly like the same fight he had with Dick. It was literally, he's like reliving it out, and I found that quite interesting. So I was like, yeah, the comic's all right, but then when it started to get into this, I was like, this is interesting. And this is like piqued my interest. And then when we finally do see it, and Robin's like, I'm done, I'm throwing it away, because in this picture here, it looks like I think they are part of the Teen Titans. I'm not sure who they are.
I think that's when Damien's leaving the Teen Titans as well. He said, I'm done as Robin, now I'm leaving the Teen Titans. And then off he goes by himself.
He does everything, and it's kind of like, well, where's he going to go? And then this was pretty cool for me. Like, he gets the Bat family back together.
Yeah.
He's obviously got Red Hood, Batwoman, Nightwing.
There's a little powwow while they're having about the anti-vigilantism. Is that just another Batwoman? I'm not sure on that one, mate.
And then you got like some fake old
Signal.
The Signal,
yeah. Signal.
And then obviously you got that's Batgirl.
That's Barbara Gordon, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, this was wicked, like getting them all back together, and then they literally just like, we can't even save this city no more because the people that think we're trying to save it actually think we're doing no good and they want to kill us anyway.
Yeah.
And this is all down.
Fallout of Joker War, yeah.
I know this is all down to Detective Nakano, like just pushing it. But I mean, I thought this was pretty good. And then they're like kind of all talking about like, how can we actually save this? We're going to have to do more with our masks down than we are off. And then Batman's like, who is it? The Signal's like, thanks for calling us together. And Batman's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, see, to be fair, I thought it was the Robin. I thought it was Damien that had pulled everyone together, and he was just going to unleash hell on the Bat family and be like, you've all fucked me over and stuff like that. But then when it does come to it, and it's like, yeah, they're literally getting ransacked.
Yeah.
Like, one thing for me, I was like, yeah, they got up there pretty quick. They got up like 4 flights of stairs pretty quick. And then they all just
pretty quick.
It was, wasn't it? They're all just jumping off, diving everywhere. I mean, they could easily take on them. I don't know why they're running away from them. This is one thing that I got. I mean, like, you're the Bat family. You're used to fighting crime and putting people in their place, and yet you've got about, I don't know, 30 people running at you, and the first thing you want to do is jump around and be scared and jump off buildings and stuff. So I was pretty disappointed with that. I thought that could have panned out a lot better than it did.
I would have speculated that the Mirror is actually that detective. That's my guess at the minute. That's going to be my guess at the minute.
Is he the Mirror here? This is the Mirror.
Yeah, that's the Mirror there, yeah.
So you think he's Detective Nakano?
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Because they're both against vigilantes.
Yeah.
And they both seem to be leading the charge against them.
Yeah.
So I'm speculating, though.
Oh, no, 100%. I mean, because obviously, like, I mean, it's clear to see that in this issue, as I mentioned, it's a character building issue, and it's kind of tying all the loose ends together from the Joker, or getting the Bat family together, because this is probably the first time that the Bat family's properly been together since Alfred's death.
Yeah.
Because they only all came together in that old English pub when they was all reliving the moments of what Alfred did the best and stuff. And then now they've come back together because they kind of lost another family member, with like Robin going underground. No one knows where he is. Even Damien himself hasn't told. I mean, he was really close with Dick, and he hasn't even told him where he's going. So Damien's like gone off on his own. I mean, I thought as it went on, it became a stronger issue. It did become pretty strong, and there was some entertaining drama with like the battle scenes with Batman and Robin and stuff. But this, for me, this going through his old book was.
I really enjoyed these panels.
I really like this panel.
I really did.
Like the way that it tied back to like, is it like how many death threats and life killing attempts he'd actually had on himself, and then
from being like a kid.
From being like, could you imagine growing up in that? And it was, but then obviously we go to where the Robin is now.
Yeah.
And he's literally looking at Bruce Wayne, Alfred Pennyworth, and he's like, who would actually want to kill these people? Because I think this was one of the attempts that no one knew about in the car, because he mentions that people tried to kill him. And then it goes to Gus Lolos and Catherine Podolsky.
Yeah. And then already Damien's got his suspect.
But this is interesting. Like, I'm liking his new get-up here.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like he's in a tux. I mean, this was... Let me end it. I mean, for me, I actually thought it was quite a strong comic. As I said, I haven't really been following like detective comics as much as Batman and the rest of it. So it was good to watch. It definitely got more interesting as it went on.
Definitely.
But it's definitely an intriguing story. I want to find out now. It's kind of piqued my interest in the last 5 or 6 pages, and I'm kind of like, I'm intrigued now. I want to find out where else it's going to go.
I'm gonna give a couple more issues because the people against the vigilante stuff's been done before, so for me it's flattened out there. But I'll give a few more issues and see what happens.
But one of my comics of the week has to be, it's got to be Power Rangers. For me, like, this was me reliving my childhood. Now, last week, Mighty Morphin #1 came out, and I was like, this is interesting. And as I read it, I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I'm like a fucking 10-year-old kid again, watching Power Rangers on a Saturday morning, watching the Red Ranger, Tommy, Kimberly, Jason, everyone all kicking off. And then to read this was awesome.
So last week when you and Tom were on about Mighty Morphin, I thought, well, there's a new Power Rangers one out this week. I'll give that a read. Read it. And now I'm going to have to go back and read last week's Power Rangers. And I'm going to have to go back and read Shattered Grid. Because I need to find out more about that Draken character. It was Shattered Grid, wasn't it? Yeah.
So, and look, he's back. Yeah. He's back. His timing is impeccable.
You didn't miss it, Tom.
This guy's timing is impeccable, right?
So because of Charlie and Tom, I'm now going to have to read some more Power Rangers.
But honestly, I thought it was really smart what they did with this comic, because in Mighty Morphin, it touches on the original Power Rangers based on Earth, being led by Zordon, so that's Mighty Morphin. In Power Rangers, we see the Omega Rangers. So you've got Trini, you've got Jason, and you've got Zach. Now, these are the Omega Rangers, and I think they're looked after by 11. So that's kind of like
the android, the robot.
Yeah, the android.
Is that right?
That kind of looks after him. So I just thought it was wicked, like, because obviously in this, it's inevitable that it's going to cross over, because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it all goes together. And I think Ryan Parrott, who is literally, he knows Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin like the back of his hand. He's been writing these issues for years. I think he's got something up his sleeve that he knows. And it is true what Tom said. You will not regret reading this series, and that goes for anyone.
I'm going to flat out and say I enjoyed this issue. I really did. And now I do want to go back and read some more, which I will.
I mean, I loved every single character in this issue. I mean, this starts off with, I think it's Zach and Jason, the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger, fighting. And I was kind of like, if I've got to turn the comic upside down, I don't really know what I'm reading here. I'm kind of getting all kerfuffled. And then we kind of see, like, Trini, who is the leader of the Omega Rangers.
Right.
Now, obviously, I think people know that the Red Ranger was always the leader. The Red Ranger was always the leader of the Power Rangers, because it was always, I think it was Rocky who was the Red Ranger, or was it Tommy? I can't remember. But they the Red Ranger has always been looked up to as the one who's going to lead those only things. And the Omega Rangers have flipped it on their head, because Trini, she's the yellow or gold Ranger, and she's kind of bitching these boys. She's kind of like, look, don't even try it.
Well, that was touched upon in this issue about Rocky talk when he was talking to Jason when he was sparring, and he's saying, "Oh, I don't know if I'm like right to be a leader." And the Red Ranger's supposed to be the leader, like you, and then different people who wore the Red Ranger costume.
I just love the way that every single speech bubble, not speech bubble, but the colours around them reflect what Power Ranger they are. Like here, for instance, the thought process and everything, like the bubbles around the head, the yellow, gold and stuff, red. And it just all, I mean, for me, this comic, I can't sing the praises Boom Studios, Ryan Parrott. I can't. It's just bringing the Power Rangers back in is amazing.
See, it's like the first two panels, first two pages. When I started reading this, I was like, "Oh, it's not like Power Rangers."
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be set in like Angel Grove, and there'd be a big monster, and Rita Repulsa would be there. Because honestly, I haven't read any Power Ranger comics, and last time I watched the Power Ranger show was back in the 90s. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it grabbed my attention.
It does feel like, I mean, this was me and Tom said this last week. It does feel like you're watching the TV series, like Mighty Morphin, because that's the original Power Rangers. You got Kimberly, you got Rocky, you got Tommy, you got the new Green Ranger, who is clear it's not Draken, because we kind of see Draken in this issue a lot more. But it's really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if they cross over a lot more, I think, because obviously the way that this pans out, there's this new entity or people or gang or space warriors killing everyone. Oh no, Firehawk never did like the Power Rangers. This is the wrong show for you then. I've got to say, we've literally just touched on everything else. So, but honestly, if you never did like the Power Rangers, I've got to say this is one of the comics that could actually change your opinion. I think if you are to give any comic a chance from the releases this week, I would jump on this one 100%.
It's one comic I wouldn't have went out and bought.
I think if I hadn't have read Mighty Morphin last week, I don't think I would have picked this up.
No.
I think Mighty Morphin kind of got me the taste and the energy. I was like, I need to read more. And then with this coming out, they're pretty smart how they've done it, because they've kind of kept the interest going with Mighty Morphin coming out. And then I think the next issue of Mighty Morphin comes out in 2 or 3 weeks. So to keep the infiller, they've done this.
Yeah.
Which is pretty decent, to be fair. And I love the fact that all the characters from both the comics were in this first issue. Like they've done a crossover early on.
Yeah.
See, look, watch the early series of Pink Ranger Help. Kimberly, everyone loved Kimberly. I think it was Kimberly from the Power Rangers. It was Jet from Gladiators that everyone fell in love with. Jet or Lightning. Because we're all similar ages. We're all around 35 to 38. I think we all kind of like Saturday mornings. What else was it? Yeah, it was Saturday mornings. Holly Willoughby was on with Ant and Deck as well, so that kind of piqued your interest. So you had blondes, brunettes, and older women coming from left or right. It was pretty good. But anyway, back to comics. Anyway, so for me, when they first all get together here, this was like an ensemble of like all the greatest Power Rangers and Omega Rangers. Like they're all talking here, and you can kind of SMTV Live. That is the one I was trying to think of. SMTV Live. That was the one. And then as it went on, it became Cat.
I was more like Live and Kicking.
Live and Kicking. That was Emma Forbes and Philip Schofield.
Zoe Ball.
Was it Zoe Ball? Oh, it was Zoe Ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then as SMTV Live went on, it became Cat Dealey.
Yeah.
This is like
I used to flick between them both, because one was on ITV, one was on BBC.
Yeah.
So I think that's Spider-Man on Live and Kicking. So you watch the first part of that, you go live ITV.
Golden the Gopher. Yeah. But yeah, see, this was on around this time, and it was just wicked, like the way that it tied in. And as the more and more this comic went on, the more and more it was enjoyable, because it was like you were looking and you were watching the TV show.
Yeah.
Going live BBC you're on about? No, we're talking about, it weren't going live, it was Live and Kicking.
Live and
Kicking was on BBC, yeah. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, this was a fun comic. It gained your interest. It was interesting to find out all the Power Rangers coming together, how they're going to defeat this. I really want to find out who they're trying to. Oh, the Imperial,
that was it, yeah.
Imperial. Yeah. The broom cupboard. Is that where you are now, Martin? You're in the broom cupboard. But yeah, the Emperors, and then like Zordon's like, I've been looking after this planet longer than anyone has. Yeah. I've seen things good, I've seen things bad. There's absolutely no way that if we're going to beat them, you're not taking Draken.
Yeah, because they want Draken out to help them, don't they?
And it was this panel here, this second panel here, that I kind of thought, right, Jason and Zach are going to do something stupid here. And I think you kind of like halfway through the comic, you kind of feel like the tides are changing, something's going to go wrong. Are they really going to turn on the Power Rangers?
Yeah.
And then it's here when they meet Draco, and I was like, right. For me, in this issue, no matter how much you hate Draco after what he's done throughout the years, you can't help but love him from this comic.
Yeah, he seemed proper clued on in that, didn't he?
He's proper clued on, and the fact is, like, from start to finish, because obviously he's mentioned in Mighty Morphin, but in this one, like, the fans are going to hate what happened. Some fans are going to hate what happened at the end, and some fans are going to probably love what happened. But for me, I was like, this was wicked. Like, the fact that I really liked it. I thought this is just, the ending was shock for me.
The one panel near the end, I've been wanting to see somebody to do that for absolutely ages.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We will get to that, but for me, like, the ending was as exciting as it was shocking.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, I'm just trying to go over my notes here, and everything I've said is literally like, it is basically a natural progression of how things are going to pan out with, like, I mean, because we're only known one Power Ranger set. We've only known Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah. They're all together. Now the fact you've got the Omega Rangers, there's going to be a battle. There's going to be a battle of interests. It's like, we're better than you. We don't have to answer to Zordon no more. We're like flying around saving universes and stuff like that. So it was always there was always going to be a power struggle, and it's kind of here. You kind of knew what was going to happen. Like, Draken looks dark, and he's got the green in him, which was kind of making me think, is he the Green Ranger?
See, this is all this here when he's talking. That's what's made me want to go back and read that Shattered Grid.
Yeah.
Run. Was that the first run he was in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just go back and I'll read that, and
just honestly go back and have a read, because it's so. And I said to Tom last week, I said, some of the Power Ranger stuff, I was like, oh yeah, it kind of fell a bit dry, and they were fighting the same villains all the time. It's Rita Repulsa this, Rita Repulsa that, and then you kind of like, there was always fighting with like Butch and Skull or whatever it is. But as it's gone on, it's progressed. And and that is, he's always doing the cheap plug. If you want a sweet cover for Power Rangers 1, head over to notquitemin.com. Yeah, Tom, because I love you so much, mate, I will keep that up until we finish this Power Rangers run, just for you. All right, don't lose your dog again. Did you see that on his? And
if you put in MVQ 10 fam,
exactly.
Hashtag MVQ fam, get 10% off.
There we go. Another plug. See that you won't get any. The only plugs you'll get better than that are probably from B&Q. That's it. All right. But this here, like, this is. I think this is one of the first times I've ever seen an angry Zordon.
Yeah, he proper outs them there, didn't he? He's like, you're no longer Power Rangers.
Like, he kind of lost his shit here and went like all.
He did, yeah.
Went all Mr. Manhattan on us and was like, I will not risk this happening again for any reason. And they're like, yeah, all right. And like, you know, the three of them here are like, it's like the three kids being told off by their dad, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go behind your back anyway.
Yeah,
and then
sneaking out.
Yeah, and I thought this was cool. This was like a tie back to like old school where they meet like their bullies and stuff like that. This was wicked. Like Ernie, they're always in the juice bar picking up their shakes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this is where Rocky and Tommy are training. No, Jason and Tommy. Jason and Rocky. Sorry, they're training. Because in Mighty Morphin, for me, Tommy's become a bit of a creep.
Is he?
Yeah, like when you read it, you'll kind of realise what we mean. But he's kind of become a bit of a like, what are you doing? Why are you standing next to Zordon, all suspect eating a corned beef sandwich? I like corned beef, but you know.
Oh man, I don't like corned beef anyway. It's just suspicious.
But I mean, this was quite a good scene because we was kind of like seeing like the Omega Ranger and the Power Ranger fight, and then obviously the Power Ranger gets the upper hand, and then it kind of goes back to the childhood, and then we find out that the Omega Rangers, they've literally come back for the weekend. They're not even visiting their family. So I was like, well, that's a bit suspect. And then we find out
they're offered Sweden or something.
It's Switzerland. Switzerland. Yeah, they come back from Switzerland for a peace conference. And then like you got the two girls sitting here, and then I think that's Rocky, isn't it? Or is that Tommy?
No, it's Tommy.
That's Tommy, and he's like saying to Trini, like, honestly, why would you not do this? Hey, Grey Man, how you doing, mate? Thanks for checking in.
Hey, mate.
Really enjoyed your show with Comico Dino earlier.
It was Comico great. Dino said he'd be watching, but he won't be in the chat tonight anyway. Yeah. So if you're watching, Dino.
Yeah, Comico Dino, it was great seeing like MASK, like one of your comics and stuff like that. Really enjoyed that. Hope you're well, mate. But yeah, like Power Rangers is just wicked. And then obviously seeing Trini, like, so she's kind of rising up to leadership status here. Like, when she's answering
proper lost her shit, didn't she?
Lost her shit, mate. Like her strawberry milkshake nearly flew off the table. And then we cut back, they're fighting. And this is where it turns out. Now, this is a flip of the coin, because at the beginning, you see Jason as the Red Ranger. He's on his ass. He's being beaten up by Trini. He's not the leader no more. And then you've got Rocky saying, I kind of feel like that. I feel like the weight of the world of the Red Ranger is on my shoulders. I should be like owning it and stuff. See that, Martin? Thanks for checking in, mate. Yeah, give Last Ronin a read, because it is fucking awesome. And again, if you want some decent covers, head over to notquitemin.com, because they've still got some there. So make sure you do it. And also, put in that NQM family and you'll get 10% off. All right? Sweet. But so it ties back to this, and it was all kind of awesome. And then here we go. We're getting up to your favourite bit here, Pete.
Yeah.
So it cuts back. Alpha's there saying to Zordon, look, mate, I've had my dinner. I've programmed you in for the night. I've tucked you in. I'm going to go and recharge, get my nut down, literally. And he locks up, checks all the bolts and everything, ready for keep Dracon in. And then all of a sudden, here we go. The Power Rangers are in. 11 has got them in. They're going to do the unthinkable. They're going to go against Zordon. They're going to go against the Power Rangers. Swing, like, these action scenes were fucking awesome, I thought, to be fair.
I tell you what I thought was a good touch, when they're talking, you only see half the face in the visor of the helmet.
Yeah.
Like the half like blocked off.
Like this one here. Oh, you can't see it because I've got that quote up, but
yeah,
I know what you're talking about. It's like up here, you can see like half of his face.
Can see there,
and then when they're running, like you see Trini swinging through and stuff, like working really closely together. And that here, every single, you can just see half of the face.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good touch that they did.
And then this is it. They're doing the unthinkable. Now, I was really surprised with this. I didn't think it was going to happen. Now, obviously, it was leading up to it. I didn't think it was going to happen. Right? I honestly didn't think it was going to happen. I was like, are they really going to let out their arch enemy? Are they really going to do it after all the shit that he's put them through? After all the shit he's done to the Power Rangers, the Zordon and Alpha and everything? Are they really going to do it? And boom, they did it.
They did it.
And I was like, you've just opened up a can of whoop ass. It's not going to be as easy as that. Do you honestly think Dracon? For me, Dracon kind of like, he's like Loki. You can't trust him as far as you can throw him. There's that 50% of you that's like, I could probably trust him for a little bit until he fucks me over.
I think they even said it. Said like if like he nicked off anywhere, they'd get him.
Yeah.
He was on about still running away from these people that's coming.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you're staying with us.
And they was like, if you try anything, we will kill you. And then here we go. Alpha wakes up. He's like, Jason, Trini, Zach, I don't want to hurt you, but. And they're like, oh, come on. They're just like, come on, Alpha, let us get away with this. Let's just like, don't do it. And then boom. I was like, oh no. Yes. Like, because I don't think like Alpha's ever been smacked in the noggin like that before. I don't think he has. And I was like, oh my God, I felt really guilty. I was like, no way, this little childhood thing that we've grown up with, let's just take a battering.
I like it when annoying characters get upcomings.
I mean, what's Tom said? Thanks so much, guys, and massive thanks for plugging the shop. It won't go unappreciated. My battery is going to die, so I'm off all the love, guys. Tom, thanks for checking in.
Right,
it's not a pleasure. You've got a great little shop going on, so hopefully it can go on to bigger and better things, mate. But yeah, I'll keep plugging. I'll even get the extension plugs out and give you some of that as well, mate. All right? So here's a virtual high five. Have a good evening, mate. But yeah, on this, Draken, he's free. Shit's about to go down. Zordon's not happy. He's literally going to unleash the beast here. I thought at least Jason was going to get caught behind, and then he just fucking beam me up, Scotty. He goes away. And then look at this. This is like something out of Thundercats.
Yeah, it's mental.
But that's a pretty epic team of the Omega squad. So we've got Trini, we've got Jason, we've got Zach, and we've got Lord Drakon now, and we've got this like Tiger Mumra type of thing, and then we've got number 11 sitting up there.
Yeah.
They're a pretty formidable foe, to be fair. They look kind of like a formidable gang. Like, I wouldn't want to actually mess with them. It's going to be interesting to see, though, if they cross over more with the Mighty Morphin.
I think it's going to come to a head, really, with both teams.
I think I'm looking forward to that battle. Like, them four there. Yeah. It's going to be interesting if Draken actually does stick with them and do a bit of good for once. Or he literally
the Omega Rangers got swords as well?
Yeah. So they've got swords. Yeah, they've got swords and everything. So Trini has got like the sword that everyone has always wanted. Like they kind of wish that their weapons did the same. Like the Power Rangers wish that their weapons did the same as the Omega Rangers does. Because they kind of, I think they've upped the level, and I think 11, who looks after them, is kind of giving them more tech and everything for them to do more stuff. So it's kind of at the moment the Mighty Morphin, the Power Rangers are on the back foot, and the Omega Rangers are like stepping up the gear. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. And then I'm just gonna get, what did we say we do now? It was the Amazing Spider-Man. So I haven't read this, and I did mention before I've been touching in and out of it. So. But it's going to be interesting to get your take on it, because obviously you've been following this. I think I did mention to you that I think it was, I don't know, issue 38 or 25 that was The Hunted.
So this has been building since issue 2, I believe.
Issue 2.
Yeah, but so Kindred, that's him on the front there.
Yeah.
He's been plaguing Spider-Man. Turns out it was Harry Osborn.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Norman Osborn's being cleansed of his sin by the Sin Eater.
Yeah.
So he's all guilty and trying to help out all the time now. He's got all that away from him. No one trusts him anymore. That comes into the point LR more. Because Mary Jane's in that. He saved Mary Jane in the last issue of that LR.
Because we mentioned this, didn't we? So they did the same. They did this in The Hunted, didn't they? So they kind of did original. So in The Hunted, like you obviously had Spider-Man, you had Craven, you had like the main characters, and then in the TH or whatever the copies that they did following on from that, was that kind of like
HU,
HU, that was
so if no one knows, when you get the Spider-Man comic and it's point LR or point HU, whatever it is, it kind of ties into the story, but it's about different characters. It's just filler. If you want
to, in the same timeline.
Yeah, it's all connected in the same story, but it's not important to read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can get the gist of everything just from the main title. Obviously, I'll pick up both, so
a bit like the Empire whole arc of that and the whole tie-in of Empire, which I
stayed away from that mess.
Mate, I didn't. I think the only one of them that I kind of touched on was what was it, the War of the Realms, which was like the whole. It was War of the Realms.
First issue of that. I think it was the 4th
See,
issue.
I enjoyed that, but this Empire thing, I think it was about 15 times in the end, like Captain America, Captain Marvel. I kind of stayed away from that. I didn't even think it was any good at reading. But yeah, so this ties into like the LR.
It's all one story. It's connected. Yeah, they explained it out. It's like the story's that big, couldn't contain it in the normal run of ASM, so they'll do these point ones for the other characters, like Miles Morales, Spider-Man, all that.
Yeah,
but
so Kindred is
Harry Osborn.
Harry Osborn.
That's no secret. That got found out in issue 50.
Yeah.
The guy
this is quite cool.
Green mask, that's Sin Eater.
Yeah.
Harry Osborn at the top.
Is that Mysterio? Yeah, that's Mysterio. Harry Osborn.
And it's just. So anyway, Spider-Man's in the astral plane at the minute with Kindred, and he's just saying all about how your sins, not you never take responsibility for the things you've done, sort of thing. Trying to like wear him down that way.
Yeah. So is this
just trying to get him to admit his guilt and everything?
Is this a mask, or has he become this?
Do you know what? I'm not sure because I missed issue 50.
Oh, okay.
And I picked up a 51.
Yeah, because I'm kind of he kind of looks like a Morbius mummified villain at the moment. Because I haven't honestly, if I'm honest, I haven't really I love Spider-Man stuff. I play the Spider-Man game and stuff. But the comic for me, I'll read it and stuff. But I mean, is the Green Goblin still about? Is he still?
Yeah, Green Goblin's there. I mean, I picked up the issue 49.
Yeah.
So I missed the beginning part of the story arc.
Yeah.
But Green Goblin was in there, and him and Spider-Man teamed up to take on the Sin Eater. So the Sin Eater, he collects all the sins of people, and then he can fire them out there, and it turned all the rest of the Spider family into like demons. So
wow.
And Doctor Strange is involved now, and Black Cat.
Right. Yeah. And then obviously we've got George Stacy, Jean Deerwolf, Marla Jameson, Flash, Gwen. So has he killed all of these, and Uncle Ben as well?
No, he's trying to say to Spider-Man, look, you're responsible for all these deaths. Admit your guilt.
So they've all died?
Yeah, Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy died. These are all big characters.
How did Gwen Stacy die?
Oh, she died way back in the 60s.
Oh, of course she did, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Green Goblin killed her.
Yeah, the Green Goblin killed her, didn't he? Done her in, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I looked through this, I thought this was a pretty epic. This is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But this is, he does look like, do you know he looks like his, not Tales of the Crypt. You know that game, the Crypt Master. What game is it called? The board game where you had to literally play it and then play the video.
Oh, was it Nightmare?
Was it not? Or was it? It was like the Crypt Keeper.
I used to have it.
If you got the questions wrong, his face went his eyes went red and stuff.
Do you know it was named someone else in the States? But over here, I'm sure it was called Nightmare.
I mean, he looks like him.
Yeah.
I mean, so like the overarching story for this is he's basically Spider-Man's in constant. Peter Parker Spider-Man is constantly in battle with. Is it a new? It's not a new Sinister Six. It must just be.
No, it's not the Sinister Six. No.
No, but I mean, are they tying it into with these new 4 characters, like the Cine, the Kindred, and the other ones?
I don't believe so. No. Okay. This is just a personal vendetta against Spider-Man by but Kindred really just used Sin Eater to get the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because Sin Eater had a gun that takes people's sins away, and obviously he's used that. He's fired it on the Spider family. Turn them into demons. So he basically used Sin Eater for that purpose.
Jesus. I mean, because
Sin Eater worships him. He calls him his master and everything.
That's just really weird. Yeah. Right, because I had a quick flick through this, and it seemed like a pretty dark issue, if I'm honest. It seemed like, this here, Spider-Man putting his whole fist through Kindred's heart was pretty cool, the different fighting styles and stuff. But I was I've never seen Spider-Man do anything like this. This is kind of out there. But then again, I think this is every time Spider-Man gets beaten up, his eyes are the first things to go, ain't they? He gets battered. And
it's not very strong spot, is it?
I mean, Spider-Man's been around for so long now. You'd think there's he'd use all the technology now to sort out his eyes, because it's always the first half of his mask that gets absolutely battered. And then he's falling through these panes of glass, ends up on his ass. Who is Julia?
Julia is one of the Spider family. Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously you got Spider Woman.
Yeah. I mean, see, looking at this issue now, and like
you got Silk.
Yeah,
I think that's Julia. Yeah, that's Julia, the one in black.
Silk.
No, Silk's the one with that thing on her face.
Yeah.
And Julia's the one next to her.
I mean, because looking at this, I mean, I'm pretty
Spider-Woman.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to get back into this now. I mean, because obviously Spider-Woman's, I've been enjoying the Spider-Woman run, to be fair, so I might just jump back into it.
So but the point LR picks up with these characters.
Oh, okay. So LR last remains picks up.
And it actually follows this comic issue here. So you find out what's happened to them.
So it's pretty smart how they've done it. Then they kind of give you a taste
of their own story.
Yeah, and then they kind of flip it over. So I guess that's pretty interesting. But yeah, this is freaky here, man. So that you got a dead Gwen Stacy, she's come back and then it's like
they're all demonized.
So who is she holding up there? Is that Miles Morales?
Yeah, because they've all started fighting each other. They're all infected with this kindred demon.
It's wicked.
Fighting each other.
This sounds wicked. I kind of want to get into this. This is kind of like, because obviously Spider-Man is in Marvel Zombies Resurrection. So kind of he's like the main character in it. So he's like fighting zombies and stuff, and he's met like a zombified Gwen Stacy and stuff. So it's kind of like, this looks wicked.
Kindred's he's saying, what will you do to save them? And stuff like that. How far will you go?
It seems really good. It seems awesome. Like, is it an enjoyable arc to start reading?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Because I'm thinking about doing, like, obviously I'm jumping back on the Turtles and everything now, and the Power Rangers and stuff. But this looks, I mean, I flicked through these like 3 or 4 pages of it at the beginning before we jumped on, but it does look pretty interesting.
Oh, it really is a good read. I'd say just check it out, man.
And then this is it.
Snap.
Is that his neck? Oh no.
Yeah, that's his neck.
Shit. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I'm well up for it. And it's good that the fact that like we've got a comic on here that I haven't read, because I've got something more to add to my pull list of about 90 comics now, as I mentioned to you before. I mean, I need to switch off and like kind of edit my pull list, but there's so many decent comics coming out. I'm like, ugh. And especially with the likes of like Boom Studios and Image, and we're in a lockdown, there's nothing more to do than make these YouTube videos, talk about comics, post stuff on Instagram. So money, it's all money at the end of the day. You can't take it with you.
I've just narrowed my comics down to who I want to read. It's like Batman, Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, Pete, I did that, but there's still so many I want to read. Like, I narrowed it down. I was like,
You Wish You Would Die comes out next week, and I haven't picked up any of them since issue 3, and I'm really tempted to pick it up.
See, I was like, a couple of weeks ago, I managed to get we've got Whack Comics in. Hey, Whack Comics.
Hey,
all the way from across the pond. Thanks for checking in, mate. Have a look over on the replay of this. We covered Punchline 1, Detective Comics, ASM 52, and Power Rangers. So check out that if you haven't already. But a couple of weeks ago, like when I first got into Boom Studios, way back in 2012, I was reading a bunch of comics called Fanboys versus Zombies.
Right.
And it kind of picked up like all these groups, group of kids that go to like Comic-Con and they dress up and stuff like that. And I had issues 1 to 20. I had them all, and I lost them all. Like, for some reason, for the life of me, I don't know where they went. I spoke to my wife, couldn't find them anywhere. And then I was on eBay, and someone was selling issues 1 to 6 for £4.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd be stupid not to pick it up. And I ended up putting a bid in. I think it was like $5.25 bid on eBay. Won it. Totally forgot about that. Arriving apart, I'm like, get in. Like, and it was wicked. So I'm starting to collect that again. Then I'm trying to cut my pull list down, but there's so much coming out. Like, it's an interesting time to be a comic book reader. Like Grey Man is always like his comics collection is insane.
Good thing about Grey Man though, he doesn't have a pull list because he doesn't collect any new comics.
He doesn't. He just literally goes out on the bus, goes and gets his 50p comic hauls, and then he's just got an evergreen collection that I can't see, even with his Greyman boxes, mystery boxes.
Yeah.
You're probably just using that money to buy more Silver Age and Bronze Age comics. So it's like a vicious circle, mate. We're all going to be there one day. We all aspire to be you, Greyman.
Yeah, we're all addicts.
Oh, are you serious? We've got another Venom in here. That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. Like, well, hold on a minute. There's more than one symbiote on my show tonight. This is interesting. Hello, Venom. Hello, Venom. There are more of you out there. We are Venom. This is going to be great. What's he say, Greyman? I wish, mate. I only sold one so far, so I gave up.
At least you tried, mate.
We are very well today. How are you? Yeah. How are you and Eddie Brock? Are you getting on? This is interesting. I really want to know who Venom is. But mate, honestly, it's been great having you on.
It's been a pleasure, mate.
I'm just going to give you the screen now if you just want to let people know what you've got coming up on your show.
Same old. Yeah, I've got some Warhammer stuff to do. I will have a comic call next week. It's for now. Everything starts to slow down for me near Christmas, so I try to just go off a little bit near Christmas. But I'll be around and I'll pop into lives and stuff like that when people are lovers.
If you're awake.
And if I'm awake. Yeah, you can find me on IG, GP Venom 1982, and GP Venom here on YouTube.
Yeah, as you like, guys, if you're in the chat, if you're watching a replay, check him out on Instagram, YouTube. There's unboxing, there's mystery box hauls, there's fantastic videos. There's about 2 or 3 videos up there when we went live doing the Laymore frame. So watch that. He literally brought the heat for the US. But yeah, check us out on Instagram, check us out on YouTube. We are part of the UK, ever-growing UK comic book community. And we are always looking for new members. And the time to start is now. We've got Venom, who is doing great things, just searching carnage while eating the heads off very bad people here. So it sounds like a regular day for Venom, or evening, depending on what time and where you are in the continent in this fucked up world that we live in at the moment. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to everyone in the chat. Thank you for checking in as always. Thank you to my main man Pete, aka GP Venom, for stopping by for what has now been an hour and 15 minutes talking about comics. I look forward to this. I think Ryan Brown had a record. I think it was like 2 hours and 45 minutes because he spent like 25 minutes talking about fish and chips with me and the Greyman. And then we were talking about battered sausages, and then we were talking about tinned peas that tasted like little balls of lead. So that kind of like turned on his head. But it's been good, mate. Thank you for coming in. I look forward to
thank you.
I look forward to doing this on a Thursday and kind of giving back to the community. If you are going to watch the replay and you are just checking in, there are a few spoilers, so you can kind of do what Tom from Not Quite Mint did and check out and check back in. When this is over on YouTube, I do put the timestamps and the comics that we review, so you can feel free to just watch what you want. You don't have to watch me or my guest rambling on for 45 minutes to an hour. You can get straight to the nitty gritty and find out what you want to know. But it's been an absolute pleasure, mate, having you on. I'm sure I'll talk to you over on Instagram and stuff like that.
No, definitely.
But guys, as always, have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Don't go out. Go out. Stay in. Don't stay in. Do what you want. Read the comics. Enjoy the comics. It's what we're here for. We love the comics. And as always, guys, if I don't see you for a week, I'll see you through the Geek Guy window. See you later.